institutions that once held society together are now exploiting the very citizens they were supposed to protect. Severely compromised and weakened by greed, they serve the interests of financiers, oligarchs, and technocrats. With a system that creates money and prosperity out of debt, America became the wealthiest nation in human history. However, the ordinary citizens are the ones left carrying the debt.
Money is created in a bank and invariably ends up in a bank. They are the true masters, along with the corporations and governments they support. Physical slavery requires people to be housed and fed. Economic slavery requires people to feed and house themselves. It is one of the most ingenious scams for social manipulation ever created, and at its core, it is an invisible war against the population. Debt is the weapon used to conquer and enslave societies, and interest is its prime ammunition.
Right over the phone. Are you overwhelmed by debt?
Going deeper and deeper into debt to finance their buying bins.
Americans are working longer hours. Americans are buying and buying, working longer, buying and buying and buying. Work harder, work harder. More stress.
Are you overwhelmed by debt? High interest rates, late fees. Spend, spend, spend. That's my motto.
Deceived and manipulated into false sense of prosperity. We went out and bought things we don't need with money we did not have, expecting happiness that will never come. Of course, our debt has made the biggest retailer, Jeff Bezos, and his wife or ex-wife, the wealthiest man and woman in history. They tell us the chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Yet, they only measure the economy by how well Jeff Bezos and his cronies are doing. The bottom half of America have more debt than assets. 69% of adults have less than $1,000 in a savings account. A teacher that has worked honest and important job for over 2 decades still cannot make ends meet in America, the wealthiest nation in human history. And yes, we are supposed to believe the American dream. George Carlin, the comedian, said it best: you must be asleep to believe the dream.
I was brought up to believe that the American dream meant that you work hard and you're going to be successful. I've worked hard my whole life, and I'm still stuck. Things have changed somewhere along the line, and I feel cheated out of the American dream. Just don't get ahead. There's no American dream anymore.
To wake up from this nightmare, each of us must take responsibility for our own inner development and maturation. Because our collective maturation is the only thing that will save society and our planet from the greedy, corrupt institutions that have sold our souls and the planet for profit.
Nowhere. Well, the same thing was happening in theoretical physics. It was happening in mathematics. It was happening in the pension funds. It was happening absolutely everywhere except for a small number of places like startups and hedge funds, which for a period of time were able to buck that trend. And as I came to understand that we were in some sort of society-wide Ponzi scheme since the late 60s, early 70s, and that there was no way to continue to grow our way out using the previous tools, I started to understand that society was going to be lying about almost everything at almost all times. And that's a very terrifying thought to have. We have effectively entered a period in which we cannot trust our experts. And I think that what began as a desire to contribute and to do real work ended with an understanding that we've got 2 generations of institutional experts that are corrupted, and that we cannot wake up from this crazy fever dream that we're all in because we can't figure out who we can still trust. The doctors are compromised, the professors are compromised, the journalists are compromised, the politicians are compromised. About the only thing that isn't badly compromised are people with an independent source of sustenance. Individuals in very small groups are about the only thing that is free of this disease of the embedded growth obligation. And so the paradox is that the individuals have to save the institutions that are trying to extinguish them, because the institutions don't want to hear this message. But in fact, if they don't make use of the tiny number of people functioning as individuals or in small organizations, all of this is going to collapse because it cannot continue along its current exponential path. That exponential gave out a long time ago, and it's like Wile E. Coyote running off of the cliff. As soon as he realizes that there's nothing holding him up, down we fall. There's two games here. There's trying to get the best deck chairs on the Titanic, and there's trying to rescue the ship. And in general, nobody can think of how to rescue the ship, which is a daunting task. So instead, what we're doing is we're fighting for position in a losing game. And it's important that that stop.
The straw that broke the backbone of our society was the brazen robbery carried out by the academic institution. They stole our minds, destroyed intellectual curiosity and the ability to think. Yet, we, the victims, owe them $1.3 trillion in student loans.
Available to us at all times, but is the internet, with all it has to offer, making us smarter? Are we focusing on the right things? We wanted to find out. We went to Universal City Walk to find out if people knew more about the virtual world or the real world. This is frightening. Hi, what's your name?
Shelby.
Shelby, what do you do?
I go to school at Michigan State University.
And what is your major?
Supply chain management.
Very computer savvy?
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to find out. If people are more computer savvy or real world savvy. What once divided East Berlin and West Berlin?
The Great Wall of China.
The Great Wall of China. Where can you write on your friend's wall?
Facebook.
Facebook, okay. What is a Kindle?
Oh, my sister has that. You can read different books, download them.
Okay. What is kindling? Does that have something to do with reading?
Family?
Like being next of kindling? Like if you're in an accident, you would call your next of kindling?
Yeah.
Hi, what's your name?
Taylor Burrow.
Taylor, okay. And you're a college student?
Yes, at Howard University.
Oh, very good. What does NATO stand for?
NATO stands for New Automobile Dealership Occasion. No.
What is ROFLALMAO stand for?
Rolling on the floor, laughing my ass off.
What is the object of Angry Birds?
Birds on your iPhone, and you pull it back and then shoot it, knock over like boxes and bricks.
Are there any pigs or anything like that involved?
Pigs, yeah, and like some things get you points,
Okay,
and then you win the game.
What is our objective in Afghanistan?
To get oil that's not ours?
No. I would stick with the Angry Birds.
Angry Birds?
In Greek mythology, what is a Trojan horse?
It's a horse that Trojans rode into battle.
Yeah. There were a bunch of them, or they just had one horse?
There were a bunch of them.
There's a ton of these Trojan horses.
I assume there was more than one.
Come galloping across. All right. Okay. And what happened? Any idea?
They fought wars on them. It gave them an advantage over the enemy.
And what was the advantage of the Trojan horse?
It was faster than all the other horses.
And it was made out of wood. On the internet, what is a Trojan horse?
Virus.
Virus, right. Where is the Amazon located?
Somewhere near Africa?
No. What is Amazon.com?
You can buy everything at Amazon. Everything.
Maybe a geography book.
Sure.
Hi, what's your name?
Jeremiah Watson.
What once divided East Germany and West Germany?
Sea.
The sea. And then the water evaporated. They were
United.
Okay. Where can you write on your friend's wall?
Oh, Facebook.
Hi, what's your name?
Don.
What is a pediatrician?
That's the feet.
Feet. That's a foot doctor. Okay. What is Wikipedia?
It's an online source for
everything is like an encyclopedia.
So if you looked up pediatrician on Wikipedia, you would get
The answer would be a foot doctor.
foot doctor. That probably is right on Wikipedia. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence?
I know I'm wrong, but I'll say George Washington.
No. Yeah. Who sang the song Friday, Friday?
I think her name is Rebecca Black.
Rebecca Black. And how do you know that? So it's almost creepy that you know that.
I agree, but I just saw something this morning on it. That's all.
Okay, wait. What does WW2 stand for?
What would you two do?
What would you two do? All right. What does WWW stand for?
World Wide Web.
World Wide Web. Last book you read?
I read some of the Harry Potter book.
The Harry Potter book. You read some of it?
Some of it.
They got bored with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Last funniest video you saw on YouTube?
This man got hit by an ice cream truck.
Guy got hit by an ice cream truck. Well, what is funnier than that? Last book you read?
Last book I read. I don't read very much, I guess.
Okay, so last funny video you saw on YouTube?
The Friday video.
Again, back to Rebecca Black, so this is getting creepy.
Yeah.
Finish the quote. Give me liberty.
Or give me death.
Very good. You know who said it?
Oh gosh. No. I do, but I don't. Samuel L. Jackson?
Samuel L. Jackson. Give me liberty or give me death.
A college degree today is not worth the paper it's printed on because our intellect is so stupefied such that we cannot solve one problem without creating two new ones. Most college graduates lack common sense, basic historical knowledge, and the civility needed to discuss important sensitive matters, such as the widening wealth gap between the super rich and the masses. Topics like slavery, racism, sexism, or the over-policing of humanity without someone becoming unduly offended. Racism and slavery are both tragic consequences of a mind that no longer sees all life as a river that flows from the hills of eternity into the sea of being. See, we are the only creatures that know that we will die, but we have lost the common sense to understand that life comes from death and is sustained through love and sacrifice. Sadly, we fear the thoughts of dying more than we love the experience of living. So instead of living to experience life through love and sacrifice, we live to forget death through profit and pleasure. We lost our way when civilization and progress became solely the exploit of acquiring material wealth without refining and cultivating our faculties. In other words, we wanted a better life without wanting also to become better human beings. First, we domesticated animals, but then enslaved them. We wanted more profit, so we began to enslave fellow humans too. But that was not enough neither. So we began to develop machines that will become more efficient, faster, and smarter than humans to create even more profit. Today, US have drones that can identify and kill a man half a world over. But a university student, yes, a university student in US could not identify one of the two countries to the north or south of its borders.
You name a country that borders the United States.
A country?
Mm-hmm.
You have such a pretty face. You should be on a Christmas card.
What college did you say you go to?
I go to Saddleback.
Saddleback College. Okay. Are you stupid?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Some people are really fucking stupid.
How many U.S. senators are there?
Too many.
Too many?
Wait, there's like 52, isn't there?
52. Why do we have 52?
Because there's 52 states.
Because there's 52 states.
Fuck! Seriously? How many senators are there? One. There's just one senator.
12.
12? No.
2.
No, it's 100.
100. Of course.
Look at that sweet smile.
Can you name a country that borders the United States?
Europe.
Clever girl.
I thought this was supposed to be fun.
Today we speak only about the transatlantic slave trade that victimized blacks. Nevertheless, slavery was an original sin committed out of greed and blind pursuit of profit by all races in the world. And if we continue to remain ignorant of our history, all races in the future will become enslaved again through the misuse of money and technology.